Israel has finally admitted that it is pumping seawater into Hamas tunnels. This is a move that the United States had warned could actually endanger the lives of Israeli hostages who are in the captivity of Hamas. But the Israelis have done it anyway. So as the Israeli forces say that they are dismantling Hamas's underground network of Gaza after more than a month of having declined to comment on reports that the Israeli Defense Forces were flooding Hamas tunnels using seawater from the Mediterranean Sea. The Israeli officials have now acknowledged that this is a tactic that they are deploying on Hamas tunnels where the Israeli hostages are said to be housed. In a statement, the Israeli military has said that the IDF has implemented some new capabilities during the war with the aim of neutralizing underground Hamas infrastructure, including but channeling large volumes of water into these tunnels, further adding that this is a significant tool in combating the threat of Hamas's underground infrastructure. Although the IDF has clarified that all tunnels are not being flooded, as the process of attaching pipes and pumps to the shafts are not suited to all the tunnels and could severely damage some areas. On the other hand, in a bid to achieve truce between Israel and Hamas, Hamas's political leader Ismail Haniyeh has confirmed that it is now studying a proposal that has been floated by Israel to pause the fighting in the Gaza Strip. Haniyeh said that Hamas has been invited to discuss a framework set out by Israel, United States, Qatar and Egypt. The proposal comes as one of the most serious peace initiatives in the months-long Israel-Gaza war. But remember, this is more in the nature of a military pause in exchange for Israeli hostages. The report said that the new proposal, in fact, aims at a 6-week truce, where more Israeli hostages would be exchanged for Palestinian prisoners. Now, the Hamas leader has stressed that the group's priorities are a permanent ceasefire and a full Israeli withdrawal from Palestinian lands. But the Israeli Prime Minister has ruled out the possibility of a permanent ceasefire or pulling out Israeli troops from Gaza. Netanyahu insists that the war will not end until the elimination of Hamas and also the release of all Israeli hostages. Now, Israel says that at this moment there are still 136 hostages that are still held, and about 24 of them are presumed dead. On Sunday, Qatar's Prime Minister, along with top intelligence officials from the United States and Egypt, held talks in Paris. Now, the heads of the Israeli intelligence and security agencies also attended the meeting, and reports say that they've agreed on the terms of a framework for a second pause in the fighting. And such a pause may see Hamas releasing any remaining elderly, women and child hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners during an initial period of 6 weeks. If successful, there could be another 2 phases of swaps, with male Israeli soldiers being eventually released. Now, the Israeli Prime Minister's office has called the talks as constructive, but has noted that there were significant gaps which the parties will continue to discuss.
I hear talks of all sorts of deals, so I want to make it clear. We will not end this war without achieving all of our goals. This means the elimination of Hamas, the return of all our abductees, and the promise that Gaza will no longer pose a threat to Israel. We will not pull out the IDF from Gaza Strip, and we will not release thousands of terrorists.
Britain's Foreign Secretary David Cameron, who is on a fresh tour of West Asia to quell the war, has said that the country is in fact considering a push to recognize a Palestinian state at the United Nations. The move can bring about irreversible progress to a 2-state solution.
Foreign Secretary David Cameron.
The diplomatic advances have come hours after Israeli commandos disguised as medical workers and Muslim women stormed into a hospital in West Bank's Jenin. Now, the Israeli forces then killed 3 Palestinians inside the hospital, including a paralyzed individual who was shot dead on the bed where he was being treated. And our correspondent from Israel, Jody Cohen, has sent us this report. Listen in.
Israel said it killed 3 Hamas terrorists hiding in Jenin hospital who were planning a major attack against Israelis. Meanwhile, Hamas is considering a new proposal which appears to have been accepted by Israel. This would involve a pause in fighting, release of some of the hostages, and the early release from prison of a number of Palestinian security prisoners. But there is concern in Israel that this could end up in the thousands, including people convicted of murder. Prime Minister Netanyahu said Israel won't free thousands of security prisoners or pull out of Gaza as Hamas is demanding, as he said Israel must ensure its security. Meanwhile, the Israel Defense Forces have confirmed that they are flooding some Hamas tunnels. The IDF say experts are checking for safety and intelligence is being assessed to ensure hostages aren't being held in the flooded tunnels. This latest development is thought to be part of Israel's strategy to take steps to secure its border, as it says the Hamas tunnels are used to launch rockets and hide Hamas operatives. It's also thought that the announcement could put pressure on Hamas as the hostage release negotiations continue. This is Jodie Cohen for WION World as One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.